Hi everyone, Richard here at Kelvin Wazoo, and I am jumping on a thread that is being organized by Alex at Motoric 247, and it's experimental music tag. Very interesting. Only 5 prompts, but it took me a while to pick my responses to them because one of them was really kind of hanging me up, but I'll get to that in a minute. So yes, 5 prompts. The first one is a minimalist record. And the one I'm going to show is this one here, Far and We, by Kazuo Imai, Soloworks. It's part of a series. This is volume 41. This is about as minimalist, I think, I can get in my collection. This is a really odd recording, and in spite of it being hardly musical, I like it. Not necessarily something that I'm going to listen to with great frequency, because what it is, it's a series of pieces that he's playing on an acoustic guitar with nylon strings, and it's recorded live. He's performing for an audience, and it's completely improvised on the moment, right there. And what he's doing is he's just making weird sounds by scraping on the strings, just, sometimes harshly plucking a string that almost sounds like he's trying to break it. I have made a video about this maybe a year or so ago when I got it, and I described one of the songs as sounding like a mouse running up and down the strings with a cat going bap 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 on the strings trying to get the mouse. So yeah, it's really interesting, and I do really like it. And it's minimalist. I mean, there's really nothing else going on, and it's all live. So the only Kazuo Imai record that I have, it says the instruments that he's playing is a guitar and a chair. So that's the minimalist record. Really quite interesting. Next one is a record that evokes a dream state. And this is one that I recently did a video on, just within the last few days, with my recent finds. And it is this, Totem 2, by the Master Musicians of Bukake. And as I describe in my video discussing this record, it does very much evoke a dream state and a dreamscape. It begins, the opening song is called Bardo. There's 3 of these, Totem 1, Totem 2, and Totem 3, within the collection of all the other works by the Master Musicians of Bukake, which hail from the Seattle area. It's called Bardo Konyad, Master of All Visible Shapes. That's the opening track. Now, each of these Totem records in the series, the first one is called Bardo something. And Bardo is, as I explained in the other video that I did, it's a state or plane of existence between death and rebirth. So that's how it begins with this Bardo. And then we go into these other very drone-like pieces, which I imagine are representative of the journey from the Bardo into the next plane of existence. So it's very dreamlike. Something that you can really, You can dim the lights and play and listen with headphones, and just really become lost in the music. It is very drone-like, very monotonous at times, with these other things happening sort of around that continuous drone, or the other theme, or whatever anchor is going on with the music. So Totem 2, Master Musicians of Bukake, for an album that evokes a dreamlike state. All right, now this next one is the one that kind of took me a little while. There was another one that took me a little while to finally pick something, and it was, you know, a record or a song that employs animal sounds, or is a recording of animal sounds. And I don't have any field recordings that are like that. And so I'm racking my brain trying to think, you know, what do I have that might do that? I'm even Googling, you know, records with animal sounds, you know, and Beach Boys Pet Sounds comes up, you know, and yes, I know that there are songs with dogs barking, you know, or whatever, but remember, this is an experimental tag, okay? So I felt like I needed to stick as close as possible to that genre of music. And then I remembered, this is going to count. While they're not considered necessarily an experimental collective or band, this album has some very experimental parts to it, and that's Pink Floyd's Ummagumma. And what came to mind is the side 3. It's a two record set. The first part is a Richard Wright composition called Sisyphus. Has 4 parts, and part 3 has birds twittering in the background. So that goes along with what he's doing with his. I think that part is with the organ. So okay, that works, and then it goes into the next song, the next part, which are Roger Waters' compositions. The first one being Grantchester Meadows, and it's just this very lovely acoustic song that is, they're playing it in Grantchester Meadows. And so you hear birds twittering around in the background and insects. There's a part where you have geese honking and you can hear them flapping, through the water. It's really quite, beautiful song. And then it closes as it moves into the next part with this fly buzzing around, and then someone's coming down some stairs and they're trying to swat the fly. And then that moves into the next piece by Roger Waters called Several Species of Small Free Animals Gathered Together in a Cave and Grooving with a Pict. So many of the animal sounds are distorted. So what I think they did is they have recording of real animal sounds, but then in the trend of musique concrète, they sped up the tape and manipulated the tape of those sounds. But they're very much, I don't think they're artificially created sounds. So we've got some, real animal sounds, I think, that are going in there. But certainly the part in Sisyphus in the song Grantchester Meadow comply with the description of the prop for that. So yeah, Pink Floyd, Ummagumma for that one. All right, so the next one is an album or song that evokes or presents itself with great beauty. And when I finally thought of this record, I was like, oh yeah, this fits the bill. And that is Eskimo by the residents. So this is clearly an experimental avant-garde recording. And what is interesting is that it's a sort of a fake musical anthropological study of Eskimo people. And it's fake because there was no, the things that they talk about, like they hunt walrus, but what they're describing as being cultural aspects of the Eskimo people is all fake. It's all made up. And it's just really amazing and beautiful to listen to. This was one of the first Residents recordings that I had ever listened to, and it turned me into an instant fan of their quite peculiar avant-garde style of music making. It is a really great recording, and it has a very strange beauty about it. And then the last prompt is, all right, a cover to a record by a visual artist, or a record that by a visual artist. Okay, so either the visual artist is the person creating the cover art, or it's a visual artist who created a recording. This was a tough one for me to think about because, I didn't know, where to go with that. I mean, probably the easy things to do would be for the visual artist doing a cover. You think of like Hypnosis and all the covers they did. Even Neon Park, who did some Frank Zappa covers, and also Little Feat and other covers. And then visual artists who are creating, I guess maybe Yoko Ono probably would fit in there. Laurie Anderson, perhaps. But then again, I don't have any Laurie Anderson recordings. But then I finally realized, oh, of course. Not only is this person a visual artist and did the art for the covers, but he's also a musical artist. That's Captain Beefheart, of course. So, this is his artwork on the cover here, Shiny Beast Bat Chain Puller. And Captain Beefheart qualifies as experimental and avant-garde, music. On the back here also, that's his artwork. And then I have other examples, but I pulled two of them. You've got this one, Doc at the Radar Station. This is his artwork that's on the cover as well. And again, we're talking about experimental music, very much avant-garde, with the Captain Beefheart. So, I was able to pull it off. So there you go. Those are my contributions to the thread. Check it out. I'll have a link in the down under to his video that has the prompts, etc. And I hope you all enjoy that. Leave a comment in the down under. And as always, remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.